Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. In today's episode, another Disney film has gone woke, and this time it's Snow White. Before we jump into any of it, support a true American patriot by hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave us a short, sweet comment down below. The question for all of you is, knowing that Snow White and Disney continues to go woke, are you going to go see this movie in theaters? Let us know in the comment section below and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. It greatly supports the channel. Well, hi ho, hi ho. Disney continues to go woke, for the Seven Dwarves have been replaced by magical creatures for Disney's live-action remake of Snow White. The character of the fictional princess will be played by Rachel Zegler. In the film, has been pictured for the first time with her new companions, who appear to be a mix of genders, ethnicities, and heights. The scenes pictured here with these character folks, I thought was a joke. Peter Dinklage was trending on Twitter, and so I clicked on it because I thought maybe he passed away or something, God forbid, or he was hurt. And people were commenting on this. Folks, this is the Seven Dwarves. One of which is only a dwarf. If you're listening to audio, this is mixed races, genders, ethnicities. This is how far Disney has gone. This just looks like a bunch of leftist progressives walking around the streets of Portland or Los Angeles or Chicago. This doesn't look like Snow White. I literally thought it was satire. Then I remember what Disney has been doing with their films. The most recent one with The Little Mermaid. Now they're doing it to Snow White, and it only gets worse, folks. Disney announced the magical creatures would replace the Seven Dwarves to avoid reinforcing stereotypes. After Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage criticized the effing backwards story last year. I was a little taken aback when Disney, were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White. But you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, he told Mark Marrows What the F podcast. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, and you're still making the effing backwards story about seven dwarves living in a cave together. What the F are you doing, man? Have I done nothing to advance the cause from the soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough. Disney bosses also came under fire for giving the lead role to Ziegler, despite the story being about a traditionally fair German princess. The film, which also stars Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot as the evil stepmother, is set to be released in March of 2024, folks. We got a lot of pictures here. Look, she's pretty. I'm sure she has an amazing voice if there's actually singing involved in this. Nothing against those that were cast into this. They, who wouldn't take this opportunity? But Disney is still pushing this of taking every white person and sometimes even Asian people and replacing them with a different ethnicity, with a different gender, and pushing a woke ideology. Do I personally care or think that a black person can't play a white character can't play a black character and move them all around? No, it's acting. Of course you could do that. But the problem is Disney has an agenda. They're outspoken about their agenda. They keep cramming their agenda down everybody's throat, and then they can't fathom, why are we doing so bad as a company? Why are we losing tons of money each and every year? Folks, this is a 5-year projection of the Walt Disney Company. Where I have it marked right there, March 1st, 2020, as of right now, they are doing worse than when the pandemic hit. Let that one sink in. The world was shut down, and Disney is doing worse now when the world is opened back up than it was when everything was shut down. And they still can't fathom why they are doing so poorly, why people aren't going to their theme parks, which we addressed the other week. I mean, Walt Disney World's attendance is supposedly at historic lows. There's nobody at the park. Their streaming services suck. They actually had to fire one of the lead executives on Disney Plus. They got rid of Bob Chapek and put back in place Bob Iger, whose contract was extended recently. But yet, they're still pushing this woke ideology, and then they can't wonder why they're losing billions and billions of dollars. I mean, they might lose $1 billion by the end of the year. Most likely they will lose over $1 billion as a major studio this coming year. And then they're sitting there going, well, how could this be? How could this happen? Well, I don't know. Maybe that's on the screen, maybe that's what's going on. It's so unbelievable. And I was wrong about Disney, you guys. I was wrong. And let me tell you why I was wrong. we covered the whole aspect of Bob Iger's contract being extended. And I said, look, maybe they're waking up to the idea that their woke ideology isn't going in the direction for Americans in which they thought it would. And that's why we've seen executives. We saw the diversity, equity, inclusion person or somebody along that spectrum being laid off and let go. And I go, hey, maybe they realized, maybe they woke up to this whole thing of like, man, this isn't a good thing. People aren't liking it. We're losing $1 billion, unheard of. Maybe we should rethink this whole thing. Clearly not. Clearly, I was wrong, and they are quadrupling down. I mean, it's definitely more than double down, right? They've been doing this for a while now. They're still not learning. I would imagine this movie's going to be a flop, you guys. There's no way, right? I mean, these literally look like leftists. I mean, could you get any more? Can you? I mean, you know it's bad when Peter Dinklage is pissed off? And honestly, I was actually having a conversation about this with somebody, and I said, look, he makes a good point. For a company that's so progressive and has an opportunity to cast a specific characteristic of people, meaning dwarves, that I would imagine Hollywood clearly don't get enough roles, this opens up an opportunity for them to be casted and receive roles in which they wouldn't otherwise have received because there's not just a conglomerate of freaking roles for dwarves. And so, one, I'm surprised Peter Dinklage isn't cast in this. Second, I'm surprised not all Seven Dwarves are dwarves. And it's just mind-blowing to me that the same people that complain about an able-bodied person playing a non-able-bodied person are not complaining about able-bodied people, meaning tall people, playing dwarves. It's so head-spinning. It's so head-spinning. And not to mention, I mean, the lead character isn't white as snow. Now, that's, to me, personally, not a massive issue. Clearly, the actress is pretty. She kind of does look like Snow White in a nutshell, but there are other people that I think could portray this character into which the character was originally portrayed, but I don't know why Disney has to go ruin every live adaptation. They ruined Indiana Jones. They ruined Star Wars. They ruined The Little Mermaid. They probably look like they're going to ruin this one. My next guess is that, heck, maybe they'll ruin Moana, but I've had speculation that Moana is probably going to be the most realistic live adaptation they've done in a while. They ruined Aladdin, in my opinion. It was okay, could have been done better. Genie with Will Smith was a flop, but, you know, they're replacing everybody with everybody. So this was co-written by Barbie's Greta Gerwig, I believe you pronounce her last name. The upcoming adaptation will not feature a Prince Charming, of course not, because that's a man and we got to diminish men. And will instead focus on a stronger Snow White who dreams of becoming a leader. Oh, there we go. There we go. Feminism. Ms. Ziegler previously addressed reports that the film was trying to be politically correct, claiming that the story needed refreshing. No, it's a classic. Why do we always have to have refreshings on classics? Just leave them alone. These remakes, you know, Disney, you know Hollywood's going down the drains because they don't have any original ideas. They're done. They're done. They have nothing. That's why they have to remake things every single year. She said people are making these jokes about ours being the PC Snow White. Yeah, it is because it needed that. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. You thought it needed that, but everybody else doesn't think so. Our version is a refreshing story about a young woman who has a function beyond someday my prince will come. Folks, it's a epitome of woke, is it not? The Colombian American actress. There he is. It says it all right there, right? Faced scrutiny by some critics after she was cast as Snow White, who was described as having skin as white as snow. Yes, yes, it said it there plainly. Let's throw that one out, huh? In a since deleted tweet, she wrote, "Yes, I am Snow White. No, I am not bleaching my skin for the role. And nor do I think you should. And yes, I think you should take the role in which you got because it's a good opportunity for you to especially show off your talents, even if people don't agree with it. But this is more of a Disney problem, a casting problem, and completely destroying something that a lot of people grew up with. Disney's 1937 animated film follows Snow White as she befriends the Seven Dwarves while hiding from her wicked stepmother, who later poisons her with an apple before Prince Charming wakes her from her slumber with a kiss. It was loosely based on the 1812 fairy tale of the same name by the Brothers Grimm. Look, folks, they're going to continue to go woke. They're going to continue to drive themselves into the ground, and let them do it. Let them do it. My curious question has always been, what would Walt think of this? Was Walt somebody that wanted to do this? Was Walt somebody that pictured this? Was Roy Disney somebody that pictured this happening to their company? Pushing this woke ideology down everybody's throat constantly? Or was it an opportunity to have people leave a specific world that they were living in and go into something that was adventurous and a fairy tale? And the reason why I ask is because this is clearly a fairy tale. This is clearly taking somebody's work and adapting it to something different. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in this culture, and rightfully so, that maybe we lose the vision of whoever had the vision in the first place, meaning Walt here. So would you think Walt would want this? This is the basis of the question. And also, would you go see this in theaters? I personally already am not going to go see it in theaters. I didn't see Little Mermaid. I have no intention of seeing Little Mermaid. I have the cartoon that I grew up with in the same way I have the cartoon of Snow White that I grew up with, that I think was a great story. There's no reason to change the script. There's no reason to do any of that. And for some reason, these filmmakers need to feel the need of, well, we got to put our artistic touch on it. No, you don't. I mean, you could literally film all these live adaptations scene for scene. Like the exact scene that was on paper in animation, you could just convert and have that same shot on live adaptation, and you would be fine. I would be totally stoked about that. There's no reason to change something that was so good and people have locked in their memory for so long and want that nostalgia once again. You want to know who knocked nostalgia out of the park, even though it was a sequel, was Maverick. You want to know who knocked their sequel out of the park was Back to the Future. And by the way, if you look at Back to the Future Part 1 and Back to the Future Part 2, they are pretty similar stories. And they didn't have to change much on that, and people loved them. People loved them. For some reason, these woke people, they just got to change everything. So we're going to show it one more time, folks. Here's not the Seven Dwarves, I guess. The seven, I don't know what we're calling them, folks. I don't know what we're calling them. You know, somebody put down there, including Peter Pan. Peter Pan was, I believe, an Indian kid. Hey, more kudos. I think it was an Indian kid. Again, it's not all about race. The problem is that you're pushing an ideology. We know what you're doing. I wish the best of luck to all these actors. They're working hard. And I'm just curious of what you think about it. I thought, like I said, I thought it was satire. I thought it was fake, but clearly not. This is real. Look what Disney's doing. Folks, that is Sunday episode. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this one in the comment section below. And folks, I'll see you tomorrow here on The Paul Brad Show.